stray. In the muck, they have their parade. King of the swamp, they've got it made. Gators, taters, tornadoes blow. Down in the south, where the wild winds go. Life's a feast, crazy uproar. Soapbox smorgasbord forevermore. Taters fry.
Hey everyone, and welcome in for episode 90, Gators, Naders, and Taters oh my.
Hey yo.
We're your hosts. I'm Jason,
I am Ray.
and hopefully the name isn't too difficult to understand.
Alligators.
Yes, this episode is about alligators, tornadoes, and potatoes. We're only going to briefly touch on tornadoes because we just had our disaster episode a couple weeks ago.
Hey man,
or
we're
a
in
couple episodes
tornado
ago.
warning, so
We're not in a tornado warning. We're in tornado season.
we are definitely in tornado season.
So first things first.
We were gonna record in the trailer, but plans changed.
Yeah. So first thing that we have is we have these. We have this cool
Taters.
restaurant here in Lawrence called Terrebonne,
French fries.
and they have
Oh, that's
they
delicious.
sell gator, and it's the only place in town that I could find that had gator. And they sell these gator po' boys, or you can buy a gator basket with gator bites.
What's this sauce?
It's their po' boy sauce. So yeah, got these gator bites and got these Cajun fries, and then we got this nice Cajun sauce.
Oh, look at that! It looks like chicken.
Yep. Have you ever had gator before?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well, I mean,
not from Terrebonne.
not from Terrebonne. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff.
I'm gonna have to get gator a lot more.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's not bad.
Uh-uh.
I don't hate that at all. That's good.
How them fries. Oh, whoops.
That was you, not me.
I know. I know. I fucked up. Okay.
It's his late night booty call.
Yeah, sure. This is letting me know that my work phone is about to die. All right. There we go. It's muted. Okay. Cajun fries.
Mm.
That was good. I like it.
Alligator is good to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We should do this episode in the Cajun accent.
Redneck accent?
I don't know if I can do
Oh.
a Cajun accent.
I What's the water boy line about gators? Mama said gators are...
my mama said, he's like, my mama said, alligators are so ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
That's all of them.
Nope. Sorry, guys. Mama's wrong. It's their Abdullah Ablangata.
So we will keep munching on this, but we're going to get to the other snacks and foods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, what else we got? Oh, fuck yes.
We got these Good Life. I can't tell what that says.
Oh, damn
What
it.
does that
The
say?
tab didn't rip off right. It says
Patty's Good
Patty's
Life.
Good Life.
Sweet potato pies. You can find these at Walmart for 79 cents or 84, depending on which Walmart you go to, or maybe more. Have you ever
It's
had sweet
Patty
potato
LaBelle.
pie?
This is by Patty LaBelle.
How about that? You ever had sweet potato pie before?
I have.
Well,
My
damn.
grandma used to make it.
Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Both.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
I like pumpkin pie better, but this is fucking delicious.
Yeah. I feel like sweet potato pie has a little bit more herbs and or a little bit more spice.
It's got a
to
little
it.
more spice, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Patty, you outdone yourself.
Yeah, Patty. Man.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Mm-mm-mm. Miss Patty LaBelle, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Can you
She know
name
how
any
to
of
make
her
a pie.
songs?
No.
Okay. That's not bad. So, we're going to bounce around a little bit because the rest of our food we don't have to worry about getting cold. So, I actually found these today. Speaking of taters,
Mr. Potato Head?
these are Ninja Turtle Mr. Potato Heads, and I was able to score Michelangelo and Raphael. And yeah, you can take all the pieces off just like you can any Mr. Potato Head. So, while you're kind of chowing down on yours, I'm going to start with the tater facts.
Ooh, taters.
So, mashed potatoes are served in many different ways: mashed, baked, fried, scalloped,
Fried.
and yeah, so many different ways to enjoy them in so many different varieties. From main dishes, sides, desserts, and even beverages, potatoes have been a good staple for thousands of years. Potatoes were first domesticated in modern day Peru by the Incas around 10,000 to 8,000 BC. I mean, taters are old.
That's crazy.
The exact date is unknown because tubers did not preserve well. The oldest archaeologic evidence is from around 2500 BC in central Peru. Potatoes have been found in the Altiplano archaeological site near Lake Titicaca dating back to 800 to 550 BC. From 1500 to 500 BC, potatoes gained popularity as a crop and were boiled and steamed, replacing soups. It was consumed often with quinoa and llama meat and was favored over other crops like maize. Potatoes were not only used as a food, but in religious ceremonies and as a measure of time.
What?
Yep.
Measure as time?
Yeah, because they could kind of gauge how many days it had been based off of like how a potato
Looked?
aged or whatever.
They're like, oh, it's this shade of brown.
Mm-hmm.
What
So,
the fuck?
one of the early methods for preserving potatoes was. Why did it change on me? Damn it! I typed it. Okay. Was created by freezing potatoes overnight and then thawing them in the morning, which was then repeated several days in a row, and this was to soften the potatoes. Once the potatoes were soft, they would squeeze the water out of them, leaving the potatoes lighter and smaller. The major benefit was the potatoes in this form could be stored without refrigeration and helped a lot during bad harvests. Interesting. It's kind of like the first potato crisps. The first European encounter with potatoes happened in 1537 when the Spanish conquistador Don Juan Castellanos, I guess, was raiding an Incan village in Peru in search of gold and silver and stumbled upon and documented the plant in a military report. It was originally believed to be a type of truffle, which they did not get right. Potatoes eventually made their way to Europe before the end of the 16th century by two different methods. In 1570 in Spain and somewhere in the late 1580s in the British Isles. Potatoes slowly spread across Europe and into Asia throughout the mid early to mid 1600s. It was one of the most important new foods because it had three advantages over most other foods. It was very cheap to produce, satisfied hunger, and also didn't spoil easily. It is believed that leftover maize and potatoes were brought back by the Spaniard sailors and planted in the shores of Spain. As Europeans colonized North America and Africa, it is believed that they brought tubers or potatoes, whichever one you want to use, with them. Potatoes were believed to have arrived in the early colonists with the early colonists in the Carolinas and Virginia. But the first official potato crop grown in North America was in New Hampshire in 1719, coming from Ireland. Potatoes became more popular in the eastern part of North America after the 1750s, with the first potatoes in Idaho being planted as early as 1838. The most
Dang.
popular place in North America that grows potatoes is Idaho. By 1900, they were producing over 1 million bushels a year.
1 million?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
In the 1920s, designated potato barns had to be built. Over 2/3 of the potatoes in the United States come from Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, and of all places, Maine, which is completely away from
Yeah.
the other states. Okay, so it's a little bit of the history of. Now, here are some facts about potatoes. There are between 4,000 and 5,000 different types of potatoes grown across the world. Potatoes are known for being low in calories and naturally fat and gluten-free, as well as being high in potassium and vitamin C. Potatoes were the first vegetable grown in space.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that movie, The Martian.
I don't know, it's been forever since I've seen that.
With Matt Damon,
so
where he used this poop.
Potatoes are a member of the nightshade family, along with like eggplants and
tomatoes, yeah.
and stuff like that. Potato blossoms were once a symbol of wealth and were often used in royal fashion. There is Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
There is accounts of her basically being paraded around the city with potato blossoms in her hair.
Yeah.
Potatoes are a stem, not a root.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Interesting. Thought it was a root.
Did you know that Mr. Potato Head originally used a real potato for its base?
Ew.
Could you
That's
imagine like
crazy.
making that and then like
And then it like decaying and just falling apart.
you have to take it apart to throw away the potato?
Mom, my potato head is all
Yeah.
mushy.
So
Get rid of that thing.
every state in the United States grows potatoes, and they are also found in about 125 countries throughout the world.
I mean, I always plant the little eyes that grow out,
Mhm.
and I usually get little tiny potatoes off of them. So.
Yep. So 80% of a potato is water.
Mm-hmm.
So quite a bit of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, Germans eat close to 250 pounds of potatoes per person a year,
Oh my God.
while Americans
All that
eat
potato salad.
while Americans eat around half that. Now, sweet potatoes are closer related to the morning glory than they are actual potatoes.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Huh.
The world's largest potato was 7 pounds and 1 ounce and was grown in Great Britain. I think I already touched on potatoes were used as a form of currency back in ancient times.
I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. What'd you do? Chug your Celsius and So potatoes come in several different colors from brown, red, yellow, purple, blue, and other colors. China, out of all the... Damn it, Ray, you're making too much noise. You're making too much noise. Damn it, Ray. Can't do anything. Okay. McDonald's reportedly purchases more than 3 billion pounds of potatoes every year to produce their fries. That does not include the potatoes used for their hash browns. Out of all the countries in the world, China is the world's largest potato producer.
Well, yeah, because they have so many fucking people there.
Yeah, well, put your headset on.
Oh.
Okay. If properly stored, potatoes should last several months.
Months.
Mm-hmm. Because of the high level of vitamin C, potatoes were once used as a medical cure.
What?
They were used as promoting tissue growth as well as an antioxidant, which I could see. I've heard that no. So they used to do these things called like potato wraps. Like if you had a burn or something, they would like take a big sheet of like potato skin,
and they would just wrap it on
or even just like a thin sliver of potato, and they would put on there. So many people believe that potatoes had healing powers they would cut the potato into slices and put in their socks to cure cold and other flu-like illnesses, which is weird.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've never thought about potatoes.
No,
like,
I've heard of people doing that with onions, and basically,
like putting them on their feet or something like that.
Basically, it was explained to me that you put an onion in your sock, like a slice of it.
Yeah.
And when you started tasting onion in your mouth, that was time to change your slice of onion out. Yeah.
Hang on, guys. I gotta go change my onion.
Yeah. So the first potato chips were accidentally created in 1853 in Saratoga, New York.
Can I tell you a secret?
What?
I wear my onion like a cock ring.
Oh my gosh. So it's like those little Burger King onion rings. Ones that are like...
Shut up.
Anyways, potatoes are one of the few vegetables that are not grown from seeds, but from the plant itself. And at one point, people used to believe the potatoes would kill them because potatoes contain solanine, which is a toxin found in nightshade plants.
Well, yeah, because they didn't know how to eat them. They would eat the leaves.
Yeah.
Europeans are like, well, I ate the leaves and now I feel sick.
Okay. A potato has 0.075 milligrams of solanine. 2 to 5 milligrams is considered a toxic dose, and 3 to 6 is considered fatal. It can cause gastrointestinal and neurological issues, including diarrhea, vomiting, and even death.
Oh, God.
The levels increase the more they are exposed to sunlight because that causes them to turn green.
Huh.
The level in most potatoes are safe, but as they begin to sprout the little eyes, or if they are green, then that is when the levels are higher.
Yeah.
Which is, I didn't know that.
You can boil that off, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Uh-oh. All
right, well, I'm gonna take back over.
It's gone.
Okay. If done correctly, a battery made from a potato can power a light in a room for approximately a month. Did you know that? Did you ever do a potato battery?
No, I never. I think I maybe did it once when I was in school, and then I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah. All right. And my last fact that I have is King Frederick of Prussia tried to introduce potatoes to the people, but none of them would try it. He used reverse psychology and had his guards loosely watch over his potato field. people began stealing potatoes and planting them in their own garden.
Huh.
Yeah. People thought that they were like poison or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to try another snack or two, or are you ready to jump on your
Oh, we
your
can do whatever.
gator facts?
I'm okay with this. Let's do another snack real quick.
Okay. So
Snack attack.
I found these Macy's giant spearmint leaves,
What?
and I only got it because it's got a gator on the front. I don't know why
Gator
a gator.
leaves.
Yeah, it doesn't say why there's a gator on it, but damn it, here we are going. Didn't I just talk about this at your house when I was picking you up?
Oh yeah, how there's like gotta be so much plastic in our DNA because the amount of times we use our teeth to open plastic.
Yep. All right, there's your giant spearmint leaves.
Oh, whoa.
Yep.
They look like gummies, but they're not. Well,
They
yeah,
are
they are
gummies.
kind of gummy.
Oh no, they're hard.
They're hard, but that you gotta like bend them, flex them out.
Oh, those are good.
Look at that, people. It's a leaf. It smells like gum.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is this gum?
No.
Tastes like gum.
So
It's a gum flavored gummy. It literally tastes like 5 gum right now.
those are hard to chew.
It is.
So to
Yeah,
help
it's
wash this
like an
down,
alligator.
we
Maybe
have
that's why it
this.
has the alligator on it.
Shh. We have this Free State Beer Storm Chaser IPA. This American IPA is a lightning strike of citrus chased by a gust of tropical hop notes. And this is supposed to symbolize the tornado part of our episode.
Ooh.
You got one too. It's got the Free State Hawk on the front.
That is a red-tailed hawk.
Kind of tastes orange peely.
Mmm.
It's not terrible.
Ooh, it's definitely an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
The hops in it.
I got 2 more snacks and then we can get
Oh,
the rest of
man.
these facts up.
This
Oh my
beer
gosh.
is just. This is really good. It's full of hops, though.
Okay. So my boss went down to New Orleans and for Mardi Gras and brought me back these smoked alligator sticks. And these are from Alligator King. There is pork added. But yeah. It's got a picture of some dude on the front holding a gator. 2 gators. A gator. I don't know. All right. How do we get this open? Damn it. Oh, there we go. There's a perforated spot right there. All right. Ray. Bon appetit.
Oh. Alligator.
Smells good. It's a little bit different. It's kind of hard to describe. Like, it's almost like alligator, not this, but just like the alligator bites. I would say is a texture kind of between.
Yeah.
It's
like chicken and fish.
It's a little chewier than chicken.
Yeah.
But it kind of has a texture of fish.
Yeah. It's got
That's
that
hard to describe.
flaky.
Mhm.
It's flaky like fish, but chewy like chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay. Last snack item. I found these Simple Truth sweet potato chips.
Bro, that beer's kicking in.
You barely drank any of it yet.
I don't drink. Ever. And
Oh
I
my
drink
God.
half of it already.
How the fuck do you get these things open?
There's a bag of chips. You got scissors over there, right?
No? I need to
Oh,
start putting them
what?
over here. Alright, grab some
Oh,
bread.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna munch a little bit while you
Talk about gators.
talk about gators. Shit!
What was that? Oh,
Ninja
you dropped
Turtle.
your potato head.
Yeah.
You
Alright.
dropped the
Are they
tater.
good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. Nice and
Mm-mm.
crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I make them, they're always soggy.
Yeah, make them right.
I can never make chips right.
You know what probably
They're like,
is?
you're supposed to lightly oil it. And I did, and I'm like, well, it still fucking tastes weird.
Well, if you bake them, if you fry them,
Yeah.
what you do is you gotta make sure they're sliced thin enough,
Uh-huh.
and you just have to be careful. Either if you fry it your oil too hot,
Yeah.
then it'll burn it before it cooks everything it needs to.
Oh, okay.
If your oil's too low or too cold, then it becomes soggy.
Okay. I was like, I don't want it to like smoke up the house, so I'm gonna keep it lower.
Mhm.
And I threw it in the oil, and it, I put salt on it and everything. And then I was like, nah, it's kind of bland.
Oh,
Like, eh. All right, let's talk about gators. So, there's a big difference between alligators and crocodiles, and the main difference is their snouts. I'm gonna be burping because of all this beer that I've been drinking. So if you hear me pause, it's me burping. So alligators have a U-shaped snout, whereas crocodiles have more of like a pointed V.
Mhm.
And their teeth are different too. So on the alligator, you can only see when their mouth is closed. You can only see their top teeth sticking out. You'll never see the bottoms sticking out towards the sides. Whereas the crocodile, you'll see the top and the bottom teeth when their mouths are closed. Also, alligators will only swim in fresh water. They don't swim in salt water. They can't tolerate it. Whereas crocodiles, they can switch from the ocean to freshwater rivers, anything. They can go anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Aren't alligators closer related to caimans than they are crocs?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they really are. Alligators. Okay, so there's two different types of alligators. There's the American alligator and the Chinese alligator. And now the American alligator, I'm gonna say its scientific name, and it's kind of funny. Let's see if I don't butcher this. Alligator Mississippi, and then it's ensis. That's how I want to say it. Mississippiensis. And then the Chinese alligator is Alligator sinensis. Okay, and then so the Chinese alligators, they're usually found in the Yangtze River, whereas American alligators, they're found throughout the entire southeastern part of the United States. So they've been reported from like North Carolina all the way down to the Florida Keys. They're in the Bahamas. They're even like further inland. So they're, of course, they're all over Louisiana.
I was gonna say haven't they found them in Mississippi?
They found them in Mississippi. They've been in Tennessee. Yeah. They're pretty much like that whole little lower corner. They're just like, yeah, we live here. You'll see them hit out on the highway, especially in Florida, because they walk across the highway.
I think there's a couple rare occurrences where they've been found it like in the Ozarks.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Mhm.
In Missouri? That's crazy. That's pretty far north. As far as alligator attacks go, there has been over 450 alligator bites on people in the state of Florida, with 30 of them being fatal. And the Florida Wildlife Commission, basically, they list these facts through 2020. So, I mean, for 2 years, that's not that bad. That's okay. It's decent. I mean, mosquitoes have killed a lot more people than that. So, if you think about that, they're not the most deadliest animal. But, I mean, you see one, you're not going to go up to it and be like, hey, puppy! Don't, it's not cute. It's a reptile. It will bite you. So, if you do get bit, though, here's the thing. They'll roll. They call it the death roll. And what they do is they do this so that when the main prey that they target is like smaller mammals, mostly fish and turtles and stuff like that. Hell, they'll even eat snakes and stuff, like other reptiles. But mostly their diet mostly consists of fish. But they will go and like eat your pet. So it's like, oh, my cat got out, and I live in Florida. Yeah, your cat's gone. Your cat is gone. Like, there's no way. You live next to the river? Oh, yeah, no, your cat is gone.
So this says that they've been known to attack larger animals such as panthers and bears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, could you... That's crazy.
Okay, so the differences between a male and a female alligator are the sizes. The females are a little bit smaller. The male alligators will literally grow up to like 15 to 20 feet, like long, and weigh about like 1,000 pounds, over 1,000 pounds, and they will live up to like 30 to 50 years. So I mean, they've got a pretty dominant lifespan. They're massive once they reach 30 years old. They're just like, so that's kind of cool. Oh, also, this is neat. They can survive cold weather by slowing down their metabolism. And what they do when stuff freezes, they live in water. Well, they can't get out of the water because then they'll like freeze to death. So what they do is they stay in the water and they stick their nose up through the top of the water. So when it freezes over, they just stay there in the ice and they still breathe. And they'll like dig around their body and they'll like expand their body so that they don't like suffocate. But they like slowly breathe and they just stay locked in the ice until it thaws out. And then they're like, hey, okay, I can move around. So it's like, you touch their nose and they're like, nope. It's crazy. Let's see. They used to be endangered, but they've recovered from endangerment and is now listed as the least concern. So,
though they are still federally protected.
Yes, they are still federally protected, but you can hunt them if you have a specific license. I think in some states they do allow it. I think Florida allows it, and I think Louisiana allows it because there's a lot more populated and denser areas. So, like the swamps, they're just covered in alligators. So they're like, yeah, go ahead and hunt them.
You can also have them as pets in some states.
That's fucking nuts. Could you imagine that somebody was like, oh yeah, it's a caiman, and then it's like, no, that's an alligator, dude. It's gonna grow up to like 15 feet. You're like, what the fuck? a lot of people will tell you. So, you might see some of the videos on YouTube or whatever where somebody is like handling an alligator, and they're like, "Oh, it looks so nice, though." They're not nice. The people just know how to handle them,
Yep.
and like, you have to know how to handle it and not get bit.
So for a short little while, when I first met my wife, we lived in an apartment, and I impulse bought from pet store in Olathe a baby alligator, and it was probably about 10 inches long,
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, it was a little guy,
a little baby.
and I already had an aquarium and stuff to set up, and it went okay for a couple days, but then it started making if you've seen the Jurassic Park movies, you know the noise that the baby T-Rex makes inside of the trailer. It made a noise similar to that, and my wife freaked out and was like, "It wants its mommy."
Oh my god!
Yeah. So it was a combination of that, and then the apartment complex we stayed in at the time gave permission. You couldn't have pets unless they were a caged pet, and they came in to do some sort of inspection. I think it was at the time they were doing like air filter inspections or something like that. Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
So
they come in and they like change the air filter, but then they're just looking around your house.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so they came in, and the guy that managed them was like, he's like, any other caged animal but that. I guess
he's like, no, get that the fuck out.
No. So here's the story behind that. Is I guess there was someone that had one that was about 2 foot long in a large cage.
Yeah.
And it was on a kind of flimsy table. And the alligator thrashed, caused the cage to fall to the ground, crashing.
Oh.
And got a hold of the person's like small elderly dog. All while they weren't home, and the management was going around doing their checks at that property. And so, yeah, they came in on like a half destroyed dog.
Oh my god.
And an alligator that was cut up by a shattered cage.
And it's just like,
yeah.
It's just like hissing.
And so, yeah. I ended up taking it back to the store where we got it, and luckily they had someone that was still interested in it, because they allowed me to trade it back, and they let me get some little small turtles, and that was cool, but not as cool as having a little alligator for a short while, which is probably something I'll never do again. But yeah, there's my alligator story. Okay, go ahead. Keep on with the alligator facts.
Check this out. Is it gonna make a like hissing sound? Oh, that is an alligator right there.
Yep. Yeah.
He growled.
Okay.
That's their mating sound.
I mean, we can only partway hear it. All right, go ahead and get back to your facts, dude.
I'm gonna have that in the background.
Okay.
While we're talking about this. Why not?
Because it could be a copywritten video.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. See.
Fine.
Could be. Probably not.
Probably not. But you guys can look it up for yourself. So they sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if you heard that in the middle of the night and you're like swimming, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, like get me the fuck out of here now.
Who's shit in the water?
Although the American alligator has recovered from endangerment, the Chinese alligator still seriously critically endangered.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gets hunted for food and it gets poached over there, and a lot of people that poach it aren't the locals, it's the tourists who are like, oh, let's hunt this alligator that's like white and stuff. Like, yeah, don't do that. Don't kill that alligator. It's endangered. Like, it's federally protected and everything. So don't do that. All right.
Maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't understand how killing something endangered helps protect the
know.
species and
I don't
conservation. Like, I don't know. Okay.
So, females, when they lay their eggs, they will guard their nest, and once they hatch, they'll help their hatchlings reach the water. They like instinctively know how to swim and everything, but they have to find the water, so their mom will show them where the water is.
Yeah.
They will stay up with them, like they'll stay with them for up to a year until they're a little bit bigger, and then they're like, okay, you can go now. Like they usually just do their own thing after 1 year, so it's pretty cool. The speed, they're pretty quick. On land,
You missed something about the eggs.
what? What about the eggs?
So, colder temperatures, alligator eggs will more than likely be female.
Oh,
And at intermediate temperatures, the odds of producing a male alligator are 3-1. And in hotter temperatures, in still hot temperatures, the offspring will most likely be female.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
This is from the EvergladesFoundation.org.
Oh, cool. Okay, vocalization. Alligators communicate through growls, bellows, and hisses, especially during mating season. So they have a lot of really cool mating calls. They're like really deep growls and
So do
stuff.
I. Hey, girl.
They're like, girl. It's funny. Speed. So they're quick. They can swim up to like 20 miles an hour.
Mhm.
That
Michael
big long
Phelps.
that big long tail of theirs, they're just like whipping it around through the water. It's basically just a boat rudder.
Mhm.
They can also run. They'll get up on land, and then once they stand up on their feet, so they're usually laying down. That's why they look so short. But they can stand up, and they'll run. And it's crazy because they'll run about 10 to 11 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And the average speed of a person, like if you're sprinting, you can probably run about 10 miles an hour.
For a short period.
Yeah, for a short period of time. The fastest I've ever ran, 12 miles an hour. Like, topped out, where I'm just like, whoa! But, I mean, I probably kept that up for only like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, alligators can run for a while. So, all right. What else? That's about it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's about it. They're
Let's
pretty
see.
cool
I
animals.
found a couple.
All of my facts came from the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute website.
Alligators have between 74 and 80 teeth at any time and will typically go through 3,000 teeth in a lifetime.
Yeah, they commonly go through about 80 sets of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fucking ridiculous.
See,
dude.
look at that little cute little baby
Oh,
alligator.
look at the baby. He's sitting on top of his mom's head.
So
yeah, they really take care of their babies. They're
Yeah.
like, don't touch my baby. I'll bite your hand. Oh, see? Look how tall he is.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking on his legs.
So,
Don't fuck with alligators.
Yeah.
Hint, if helpful tip, if you ever get bit by an alligator and he does do the death roll, they do that to dismember their prey. So the trick is to roll in the same direction as the alligator's rolling in. Like basically just go limp and let that thing roll you until it stops, or basically you want to play dead and then hopefully they let you go. and then once they let you go, you better fucking run.
So, unfortunately, there aren't too many movies about alligators.
Lake Placid.
Nope, that's a saltwater crocodile.
What?
Yep.
Fuck.
So there is a movie called Alligator, obviously, and then there is one called Sewer Dwelling Monster. And there's Alligator 2, The Mutation. And there's Blues and the Alligator. I don't know what that is. Albino Alligator. So there are some movies. Yeah, see, it tries to couple them together.
I mean,
But-
so alligators, crocodiles, they have all been around ever since the dinosaurs. They're one of the oldest living
Mhm.
reptiles. Same with like the Komodo dragon and them.
Now I'm kind of curious.
There's a reason though. I mean, there's a reason why they have lived for like millions of years because they've adapted to their environment and everything. They literally learn how to breathe underwater. They're just like, hey, let's stick our nose right above the water and yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, so there are some
And they don't have
movies-
any natural predators either. Think about that for a second.
humans. That's their predator.
Humans, yeah, but I mean, we only control their population in certain areas. They could honestly thrive if they really wanted to and just overpopulate. But, I mean, they don't because I guess there's sharks that the crocodiles that they face, but that's about it.
So outside of Mr. Potato Head, I don't think there's much as far as potatoes that are in movies. But there are plenty of movies about tornadoes. But first, we're
Oh,
going to talk
yeah.
about some tornado facts.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. So tornadoes have been recorded in every month throughout the year in the United States. There are around 1,000 tornadoes a year, which is probably going to be a lot higher this year because man, they just had huge outbreaks.
There's a
past couple days.
Yeah, there's a high pressure basically right out there in the Gulf of Mexico, so there's a lot of storms and moisture that's like locked in,
Moist.
and basically the moisture is like coming up from the Gulf of Mexico,
Mhm.
which it always does, because the heat's rising everything, and then it's cooling down, so all that cold air is coming down from the north. And it's literally just pressing up against it. And that's why all the states that are going, like, from Tennessee, like Louisiana, Tennessee, all the way out to, like, North Carolina and Maine, all of them,
Mhm.
they're all getting a shit ton of rain.
So,
They might be they might be getting a lot more rain, actually.
Maybe.
I think.
All right. Tornadoes only move upward.
Mhm.
So that means like as it's spinning, it's only moving up. A tornado's strongest winds are located closest to the ground. That's why sometimes you see those videos where you'll see a helicopter that will
Yeah.
be flying near a tornado, but it will be way up in the air.
Yeah.
Let's see. A tornado cannot be forecasted. Tornadoes have wind speeds less than 100 miles. Most tornadoes have wind speeds less than 100 miles per an hour. Tornadoes usually travel only a few miles before dissipating. And yeah, that's about it on them. I'm not going to get too far into it because we talked a lot about them. Not a lot, but we talked about them the other day in our disaster episode.
So tornadoes basically form when there is warm, wet air, moist air, or whatever,
And dry hot air.
and dry cold air,
Oh, yeah.
basically. And that cold air wants to come down, and that hot air wants to go up. So it's basically just pushing and it's pressing, and then all the moisture comes in and it collects all the debris, Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just not good. It's just instability in the atmosphere, and it just presses down and it just explodes. So that's why it spins. Wind speeds, they can range from like 65 to 200 miles per hour, with the strongest tornado being classified as an EF5. Um, that's EF stands for Enhanced Fajita. So that's what the EF scale means.
Yeah. What does that
Uh,
mean? What does that mean, Ray?
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me. You.
I don't fucking know. I have no clue. I learned that, so I just
Ooh.
included it.
The low air pressure of a tornado can pull. This is from factretriever.com. I got to read some of these. This first one caught my eye. The low pressure of a twister can literally pull a person's eardrum outward from their head.
Oh my god.
Tornadoes don't usually kill people. Building collapses and flying debris are the killers. Most tornadoes in the southern hemisphere rotate clockwise. Most in the northern hemisphere rotate counterclockwise. That is the same with toilets, if you did not know.
Whoa,
The
that's
water,
weird. It's
when
'cause
you
of
flush
the water.
Yep. When you flush
Because
a
of the
toilet.
moisture in the air.
No, it's not.
No, I'm saying the tornado.
The
'Cause
way
of
it
the moisture in the
spins
air. Yeah,
has to do with gravity
that
stuff.
doesn't make sense.
Dude, if you flush a toilet here, it goes clockwise
Okay.
or counter. I don't know, whichever way it goes, and then it goes the opposite.
Do we
It
have
has to do
viewers
with-
in South America? Because I
Yeah.
really want to see you flush the toilet now.
Tornadoes are most likely to form between 3 and 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Argentina, after the United States, Argentina and Bangladesh record the most tornadoes annually.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, tornadoes
Mhm.
can happen anywhere, basically, as long as the atmosphere, as long as the weather is right. It's just that
Yep.
warm, moist air and cold, dry air hit each other that's ready to go.
So the color of a tornado usually has to do with the debris that it is picking up. And most of the time it's dirt or ash or something like that.
A real
So that's why they always look black or
green,
whatever.
yeah. A real kind of like foreshadowing event as far as like tornadoes go.
Mhm.
I know like every time I've looked at the sky right before a tornado, it's always been green. You know what I mean? It's got like that dark shade. It's
Mhm.
gray, but then it's like it's kind of green. And that's always like signals like, yeah, it could make a tornado.
So a twister lasts for less than 15 minutes, but travels along the ground for about 6 miles before dissipating.
Huh.
In 1999 Oklahoma City tornado, the winds were recorded at 319 miles an hour, which are the strongest ever recorded.
That's insane.
Um,
The world's deadliest tornado. Well, I guess it's not the world's, but the deadliest tornado in the United States history
mhm.
was the tri-state tornado in 1925, which traveled through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, and it recorded killing about 695 people.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking people. Of course, you think about the 1925s, they probably didn't have a lot of warnings back then. There probably wasn't like...
So, Tornado Alley is prone to tornadoes because in this region, cold, dry air from Canada and the Rocky Mountains meet warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So, it's not always just a like cold air from above, warm air from below.
Yeah.
Trying to switch places. Sometimes it's like geographically.
Yeah.
And the dry air from the Sonoran Desert creates turbulence and then powerful storms. A landspout is a weak tornado. A gustnado is a whirlwind that is created by a sudden intense burst of wind on the gust front preceding a thunderstorm. Tornado-like winds called waterspouts can form over water. But they can also become very large. An EF3 tornado in Panama, Texas was so strong that it drove a corn stalk into a car's radiator.
Holy shit.
Damn.
That's nuts. Like, you think of a corn stalk.
Whoa.
How fast would that have been going to, like, throw it through a car's radiator?
I mean, yeah. So, some corn stalks that are pulled from the ground by a tornado can become encased in ice and pelted into items.
Oh.
That's weird.
Oh my god.
A June 1st, 1943 tornado stripped the feathers off of 30 chickens, and the chickens survived.
It's just a bunch of naked chickens.
And then, yeah, a tornado caused thousands of frogs to rain from the sky in 2005 in a town in Serbia.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Talk about biblical. That's crazy. So, as far as Doppler radar goes, they use it to detect. You can't predict like when a tornado is going to happen. You can kind of locate where you might see rotation, and that's what they look for, and that's what they use the Doppler radar for, is to identify when they see that rotation on the radar. There likely could be a tornado
Mhm.
in that area. Doesn't mean there is one, and that's why they have storm chasers, because they basically storm chasers get the call and they're like, hey, go to this area, there's a bunch of activity, this is where you're probably going to see some rotation.
Mm-hmm. So Matt Suter from Missouri holds the record for the longest known distance that a human being has been carried by a tornado and lived to tell.
What the fuck?
March 12th, 2005, a tornado picked him up and deposited him just a short quarter-mile away. Again, this is from factretriever.com, tornado facts.
So tornadoes commonly, I mean, the fact is, a tornado can happen any time of the year. It doesn't matter. It's just based on the weather. Now, yes, commonly it happens mostly in the spring and in the fall, but it can honestly happen at any time. So, day or night, doesn't matter. It just depends on the weather.
So, these are the last two facts that I have on tornadoes. A tornado hit the town of Codell, Kansas on the same date 3 years in a row. May 20th of 1916, 1917, and 1918. You know how much that would suck?
Yeah.
And then
Especially if you like rebuilt, you just, like, people are like, hey, we're good now, right? Yeah, it's been a year. And then boom, same day.
Yep. The wind is densely packed from a tornado with small particles that will sandblast off clothing and skin.
Oh, God.
The wind is also full of bacteria-rich soil and fungus, which will deeply penetrate any wounds and cause serious secondary infections. The wind can also enter ears, mouth, and eyes and cause severe internal damage and mutilation.
Oh, my God.
I never thought about that, dude. All the times I've went out there and like watched a tornado, and
it's just like ripping things to shred. Oh.
So what's your favorite tornado movie?
Probably Twister. Let's talk about this real quick. The safest place during a tornado, by the way, is in a basement or into your room in the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
Mhm.
Stay away from all windows. Do
Yeah.
not stand next to your window and look at the tornado.
Yep. It's a potato warning. Okay. Do. All right, here we go. Tornadoes in movies. Several movies. Have you seen the new Twister movie?
Yes, the new one that they just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that one. That one was really good.
I haven't got to see that yet, but
It's
the
pretty
original.
cool because it's more modern. I feel like.
So the original Twister movie and Night of the Twisters were ones that I liked.
Yeah.
Into the Storm, I kind of vaguely remember that.
I don't remember that one.
And then yeah. And then my all-time favorite tornado movie series,
Do you have any
Sharknado.
Oh, Sharknado. We should have done an episode on shark facts too. That would have been
We've
cool.
done one.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Jeez, Ray.
Anyways,
You don't remember?
do you remember any myths
Pepperidge
about?
Farm remembers. What?
Do you? Do you remember any myths like growing up about tornadoes?
No.
I remember my grandma would be like, "Open the windows so that it lets the that way it lets
Oh.
the air flow through the house."
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was little, I was like, that sounds like such bullshit. And then I think that's how I got into sciences, because I'm just like, I want to find out if this is fucking real.
Yeah, I remember stuff
And then
about
looking
that.
into it now, like as educated I am, no, that's total bullshit. It will not reduce any
No, if
damage
any-
of the tornado. It
if-
will still wreck your fucking house, even if you open a window. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
And the other thing you have to think about is it probably like adds to the air pressure in your house and could probably cause like your roof to blow off easier or something like that.
Eh.
Maybe
Maybe, but I honestly I feel like if you just open a window
blow
and
your
the
shit
wind is
every
blowing,
fucking
it'll
where.
just blow your shit everywhere. Yeah, it might not wreck your house
Mhm.
if depending on how light the tornado is, but
Mhm.
still, if you ever have you ever left a window open and you leave like a stack of papers right next to the window? What
Yep.
happens to those stack of papers?
All over the place.
Yeah, they go all over the
Mhm.
place, and you're like, ah, fuck! Forgot to put the paperweight down.
But yeah, well, kind of a little bit different episode tonight. Yeah, we covered a lot of different things.
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So-
It was fun.
Thanks everyone for tuning in and have a good night.
Be safe. Bye. Bye-bye.